If you want a man to absolutely fall head over heels for you, you gotta stress him out a little bit. And I'm not talking about nagging. I'm not talking about playing games at all. I'm talking about small things that you can do to help the process of him falling in love. Because something that you need to realize is that men and women go into dating, into relationship with completely different backgrounds. We're wired so differently. It helps to know how the man brain works so that you don't get ahead of yourself and fall into something so deeply when he's not matching your speed. Welcome back to another episode of Way Too Wifey. I am your host, respectfully Gabby. In this podcast, we talk all things dating and relationships in this modern day. And if you are new here, hi, I'm Gabby. I'm an online dating and confidence coach where I help you transform your confidence to live your best lives inside and outside of relationships. You guys, it all starts from within. And if you don't feel right, if you still have the core wounds, you're going to attract the same people. If you are struggling with anxious attachment and attaching to someone so quickly, you got to master the art of detachment. And that is what we go over in my 8-week course, along with healing the core wounds, along with reshaping your mind. The best investment that you can ever do is investing in yourself and investing and making you feel like the best person, because when you show up as the best person, you start to radiate confidence, and the confidence turns into better opportunities, better people, better quality experiences. Invest in yourself now so that 6 months from now, you are walking in your truth. You're in a fulfilling relationship. Everything that you could ever want is at your lap and you're not self-sabotaging it. So if now seems like a good time, hit the link in my bio and apply for my 8-week program. Guys, I'm gonna just hop into the episode. We have a lot to talk about today. We have a lot to go over. I'm just gonna be so honest. I feel like this is about to be like a personal diary for me because I'm a little bit of a sad girl today. I'm gonna start with a story. Trust me, we will get into how to stress a man out, but I'm gonna get into a little bit of a personal story, and this is where this kind of has stemmed from. The past week has been an emotional roller coaster for me. I actually started dating someone. We bonded so quickly, such a good chemistry. We laughed a lot. We had really good times. He was taking me to all of these really nice restaurants. He lives in the same building as me. It's super convenient. Like one thing after the next, I'm like, oh my God, this is great. I love this. Here's the problem of the matter. When it's that convenient, it is really, really easy to slip into the pattern of seeing each other all the time, because it's like, oh, well, like, hey, I just got home. Do you want to like go down to the pool? Or like, I'm hungry. Do you want to go grab food really quick? Hey, I'm this, like, do you want to go do this? Like, it is so easy because you're literally right there. And also, like, obviously we enjoyed each other's company. So I think that was like another layer to it. When you spend so much time with someone very early on, let me backtrack. I'm a human first, dating coach second. And there's times where I know better, but like sometimes I get a little carried away, especially because I haven't really liked someone and had been dating someone actively in, I don't know, like 6 months. Getting back into the swing of things, I'm like finally opening myself up to like new connections. Since it's been such a gap, sometimes I like, not that I forget because I do know better, but the process of healing, sometimes you have to relearn certain lessons, and sometimes you have to put yourself back into situations where you're like, wait, I know better. I got to do better. Now I have to redirect some things. And within the past week, we had seen each other basically every single day. He had become such a part of my day that it's so easy to attach yourself to this person because it feels good. You're both enjoying each other. They're clearly probably not seeing anyone else. I think after the week, I was like, okay, I need to get back into my swing of things. I don't want to sabotage this whole situation. Let's get back onto a grounded state and like take some time away. I'll spend some time with my friends. You go out and do some things with your friends. It doesn't have to be we're so consumed in each other. I know it's exciting and whatever, but the thing is, when you invest so much time with someone early on, you're creating a routine with a stranger, and that is the quickest way to get disappointed, because you're investing everything into this person. You're giving them all your time and attention, and you're forgetting about your own life. I've been here before. I've done this, but this time I was like, okay, I'm falling into the same patterns. I need to redirect this. We took a step back. We took a couple days apart. There was no communication, and I think a really big part of what I'm looking for in a person is someone that can communicate, someone who is a man of his word, a man who's putting you in a position where he can lose you, where he's showing you that he doesn't care all that much, and he's saying one thing, doing another. He's showing me who he is. At this point, yes, I've fallen into the same patterns that I have before. At this point, it is up to me now to take accountability for falling into that same pattern once again and pulling myself out of it so that I don't get myself in too deep, because I think before I would just allow it to happen, like, okay, well, like, you know, we aren't really dating, so it's fine, like making excuses for him. I would brush over it, pretend it didn't bother me, not speak up for myself. But this time I'm like, you know what? He showed me who he is. It's up for me to believe him. And whether he got scared because we were moving so fast, or he got bored because, you know, he's basically gotten everything that he's wanted, regardless, he's still showing me that he's not all that serious about this. Trust who they show up as in the beginning. And let me just say, men will lead with their best foot forward. So if they're not showing up as the best selves, I'm not going to wait around for someone to figure it out or try to teach someone how to treat me, because I think I've done that before. And you do come off at a certain point like you're nagging this person, like, I don't like this, I don't like this. And then it's like, okay, what do you like? I'm never going to be able to impress you. You knew who this person was early on. You knew how they moved. If you don't like anything about this person or how they're operating or what they're doing, that's a really good sign that that's probably not your person. You know, I had to take a step back. I'm like, have fallen into this pattern before. And the one thing that I wish I could change in past experiences is cutting it off right when I see a sign of disrespect. Let that be my guiding force. Did what I had to do, but it sucks because we do live in the same building, and I'm actually so anxious that I'm going to run into him. But the reason why I guess I'm making this video and talking about this is because I wish that I had played my cards better in this scenario, because I know better. It's just doing better and executing the things that I do know. The thing is, men need a little bit of space. You got to stress him out a little bit, right? And that's where this whole episode is really gearing into. Men fall in love through space, through pursuit, and through a little bit of stress. If they feel like there's no challenge, there's no pursuit, there's nothing to hunt and catch, then he's going to eventually fall flat. It's going to run itself into the ground, and the dynamic of your relationship, he's going to move on from it. You could have been a really great girl. The connection could have been really great, but I think sometimes how you play your cards really does matter in certain situations. Have a little bit of a disclaimer. I think that you can't mess up what's actually meant for you. I truly do believe that. And I think looking at this situation, there were some things that probably would be a really big challenge. Had we gotten very serious down the line, it would have been a challenge. And that's why I was kind of like, maybe this wasn't my person anyway, so we can just like let that be. Sometimes we run things into the ground before they can really take off. And sometimes we don't realize that the slow burn is actually what we need in a relationship in order for it to really thrive and to have it on a stable and steady, grounded place. But when you are rushing the process, you're giving him everything super early on. There's no challenge. He knows that he has your time. He knows that he has your energy. He knows that he's not competing with anyone. You're answering every single one of his calls, his texts very quickly, and you're giving him all your time and attention. There's nothing for him to really work for. And when there's no pursuit, when there's no challenge, it will fall flat. Maybe I didn't play my cards right here, but then again, I'm like, the right person who's sure about me wouldn't put me in a position to lose me. That's how I'm viewing it. But I also do think that you have a better chance at love and with the person that you want when you do play your cards right. And also, these rules are to also protect you of slowing things down. You don't want to rush into something because it's never going to be built on a steady ground. The more that you rush into a connection, the more likely it will be to fail. You're allowing yourself to get attached to a person that you don't even know. And a lot of times when we attach too quickly, we end up self-sabotaging. So I will say, sometimes if you play your cards right, I do think you have a better chance. But at the end of the day, I know with the right person, you can't mess that up. I hear a lot of people say like, oh, you got to stress him out. You got to stress him out. This doesn't mean like you're nagging him, you're causing him chaos internally and he's so stressed out and you're not bringing him peace, he's questioning the dynamic. You have to give him a healthy amount of stress. I think a lot of common ways that women stress men out very early on is talking about, okay, like, where is this going? What are we doing here? So they don't even know half the time. Like, we are rushing for the safety and security of a relationship, of a title, where they need to take some time to really process and know that this is the right fit for them. A lot of men don't really date with the full intention of, I'm looking for my wife. A lot of them don't do that. They're like, it'll happen when it's going to happen. Most guys, I think, and that's what we have to differentiate, is we're coming from two different angles. You don't need to be asking on a third date, where is this heading? Because half the time he's probably not going to know. But what you can do instead is asking the right questions, or even just inserting yourself and saying, look, my intentions are to settle down. Do you see that for yourself? Are we aligned on that? Say what you want for yourself instead of asking him what he wants. Because a lot of times, if you do ask a man what he wants, he's going to be like, oh, I'm just going with the flow. When you say, this is what I'm looking for, it's literally telling him, don't mess with my time. And he's going to take you a little bit more seriously. Wrong ones will run in the other direction. If he knows that you're looking for this and he's definitely not looking for that, he will likely leave you alone if he's a good person. And look, that is not a reflection of you, of your worth. That means you guys just don't align on what you're looking for, and that's fine. Not everyone is going to want the same things as you. Another common way of stressing a man out early on in the negative way is when you're overly texting or anxiously texting him, or when you're anxiously attaching. Men can feel that energy, by the way. And the more you feel like you need this man to survive and he is your lifeline and he is the only sole key to your happiness, the more he's going to run in the other direction. The more he's going to be like, actually, this is not what I want. Men can feel that anxious energy showing up. Even if you're like, well, I'm not acting on it, they can still feel it. Instead of attaching yourself, and we work on this in my 8-week program, by the way, instead of attaching yourself super early on, keep your options open, slow down the pace. You don't need to text him all the time. So if you fall into any of these and you're nagging him, you're stressing him out, you're basically thinking of him as your lifeline, you're probably stressing men out in the wrong ways. Men need space to build desire, to pursue, and to assess if this is the right thing for him. There are 2 hormones that are linked to men falling in love, one of which is vasopressin and the other is dopamine. Vasopressin is also known as the stress hormone. So when he's experiencing a little bit of stress, when he's in pursuit of something, then he's going to get excited. The dopamine is going to be released, going to be happy, and he's going to link those feelings back to you. The problem is when it's a challenge that is so far out of his league, he doesn't feel like he has the answers or the solutions for, what's actually released is estrogen, which you're probably like, okay, well then we're more alike, and that's great. Men with high levels of estrogen actually perform worse. They have depressive episodes. They don't feel good about themselves. So if there's a challenge that a man doesn't feel like he can overcome, i.e. if you're stressing him out, nagging him in the wrong ways, pushing for something that he's not ready for, he's going to take a step back because it's overwhelming for him. Whereas if you're giving him a little bit of a challenge, leaving a little bit of mystery, small challenge that he feels like, okay, now I have to work for it, now I have to earn it, really put in effort to win this girl over because I value her, that's when the vasopressin is released, and that's when he's actually going to value and respect you. And I think that's where I went wrong, is giving him everything in the first week because I felt close. And the thing is, women and men bond so differently, connecting and bonding and like having time together. That's how I feel close with someone. But when your feelings are going up, theirs might be going up, but they're probably also crashing. So when you are dating, especially early on, it is so important to have your own hobbies, have your own life, have your own goals, because a man doesn't want to feel like he is your lifeline, like you need his presence. And that is why it's so important to heal that anxious attachment to a more secure attachment, because you don't want to be this needy, naggy person that shows up in relationships, because you're going to push away the right people. And when you're constantly showing up and you're like trying to prove yourself as like a way too wifey, making his life easier, doing all the things, men don't fall in love through what you do for them. They fall in love when you put yourself first, because that allows them the space to step up and also pour into you and also win you over, because you have already placed yourself on the pedestal and he's trying to reach the prize. So instead of pouring all your energy into something very early on, take a step back, be in your receiving energy and stop initiating. Let him initiate the plans. Sometimes you can be busy. That is okay. You don't have to say yes to every single one of his plans. I can't tell you how much my clients will come to me like, well, I did this, not because I wanted to, but because I was scared that he wouldn't talk to me if I said no. When honestly, the exact opposite is happening. The more you say yes, the more you let your boundaries down, the more your standards start to lower because of this man, the more he's going to notice that, the more he's going to see, this is what I can get away with. Great. Let's keep pushing the limits. It is okay to say no, to stress him out a little bit and make him work for it. It is completely okay and is actually encouraged. I made the mistake, and honestly, I feel like this was such a wake-up call. I'm like, okay, I can't keep doing this, because I do know better. And I think I'm proud of myself for not staying in a situation that isn't right for me, because I know where that road would lead. And I've been in relationships like that where I felt like I was constantly nagging, where I felt like I was trying to teach this person how to treat me. But when they feel like you're micromanaging them, they're never going to step up to the plate. They're never going to be the type of man that you want. Stop trying to teach men how to treat you, because trust me, they probably know better. They're just treating you how much they value you. With that being said, that is it for this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got some kind of value out of this. This is kind of like my little diary session for the day. Still a little bit of a sad girl, but I'm going to crack on. Goals, we have things that we need to get in line. So again, if you got some kind of value out of this, hit the 5-star rating, leave a thumbs up, turn on your bell notifications so you'll never miss another episode. And again, I'll see you all next Tuesday.